Hey folks, there's been some questions about how to change the appearance of something. So let's real quick talk about changing appearance, what it looks like, what color it is. I've got this thing I made a little while ago. You can change, like if you go up here to your cube, your view cube, you can change what it looks like, kind of like, I can change it to have no edges showing. Hold on, let me get rid of these planes real quick because they're kind of in the way. I can hide my default geometry over here by just clicking the eyeball. You can hide anything you want to be honest. Like I could hide one of my, no I can't hide my holes, I can hide the sketch, that's a good idea. There we go. But yeah, you can use this to change how it looks. You can make it shaded, but also show the hidden edges so you can see it from where you're looking at it here. Hidden edges removed, looks like that. Hidden edges visible, kind of looks like that, but the color is gone now. That's weird. Translucent, that's making your translucency up really high, it makes it really transparent, you can see through it. Oh, and if you move this, like I'm not going to do it because I think it might cause some problems if anyone's photosensitive, but if you were to like rotate this, these lines all sort of go kind of trippy and weird, so I think it's based on, it's to help you sort of see where curvature is, and I don't have enough curvature to worry about that for myself. You can do interference detection, like if I had two parts that collided, it could tell you where they collide. I'm not going to use that right now, but that's where it is. Let me get back to normal shaded. Right now it's kind of isometric, so you can also turn perspective on, and that makes it more true to 3D looking. If you notice now, the edges, like things get smaller as they get farther away from you. This edge here is not the same visually. You can tell that's smaller and it's giving it the illusion of being farther away. So when you're thinking about isometric and how all of your scales, your height, your width, your depth, they're all equal on the screen, you can turn that off and make it actually look 3D by hitting perspective. And turn that off. And wow, now it looks kind of weird because I was just looking at it kind of like it's 3D. But there's ISO. Dimetric is slightly different. And trimetric is slightly different as well. But yeah, you can have, there's my true ISO. Everything is equal, like this. The scale is equal in this direction, and this direction. Yeah, there's some of the appearance you can edit. And then what you can also do, if you go over to your part in the parts list here, I'm going to right click on it. I've got all kinds of options. I can make it transparent here, which just makes it easy to see through, like if I have other parts behind it that I was going to look at. Let me turn that off. I can always hide it, but I can hide it also by clicking on this little eyeball. So if I had more parts and I was like, okay, I can't see the part behind this, or I can't see if the screw is actually in the center of the hole, let me make it transparent, whatever. Or I could hide it if it's something behind it. But the cool thing you can do is you can edit the appearance. I can make it look different. This is where all your color choices are for when you're looking at it on your computer screen. All right, I've got, right now it's got one of these default views. Like if you notice if you make a second part, it'll have that color. If you make a third part, it'll do this color. So you've seen some of these colors happen before if you've made more than one part in the same workspace, or if you've done an extrude that hasn't quite meshed properly with the other one, you'll see that stuff happening. But you can also change the transparency here. I can make it a little more transparent, and that'll show you kind of what's inside. It'll let you see it better. You can make it really transparent or not at all. The other thing you can do is you can change how much blue, how much green, how much red there is in here. And if you know hexadecimal codes, hexadecimal is a number system that's in base 16. Hex 16, decimal is 10. A hex is 6 and decimal is 10, so 10 and 6 is 16. So every digit, if you'll notice there's some letters in here. So you get to 9, there's 0 through 9, that's decimal. And then A, B, C, D, E, F. There's 6 more digits that are used. So it goes up, like A is bigger than 9, B is bigger than A, etc. So it's like A is like 10, but in one digit spot. B is 11, but in one digit. Anyways, I'm rambling about hexadecimal now, but if you are familiar with hexadecimal, or you want to mess around with it, like I could make it only blue. 0, 0, 0, 0. F is the highest digit, FF. That is the bluest I can get that thing. If it was less blue, like maybe 55, it's darker. It gets darker the lower the numbers are. So the higher the number, the more brightness of that color you get. Let's say I wanted it to be mostly a green. Very, very green would be FFOO. That's a very bright green. If I were to lower the green, again, it's going to get darker, closer to black. Full zeros is black. The higher the number, the lighter that color happens to be. If I wanted to mix, let's say I wanted some sort of purple, let's put some red in there and some blue, and that's kind of a purple. Equal parts, it's kind of a royal purple on my screen. If I increase the red, if I don't increase the blue quite as much, it gets kind of a fuchsia color. Anyways, you can mess around with this much, or you can edit it right here. Like this says my red's at 102. Out of curiosity, 6 times 16 plus 6 is 102. Yep. So that is the decimal value of 66 in hexadecimal. Yay! So if you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much more exciting as a math person than it is to anybody else listening, I bet. But look, it's super fun to play with hexadecimal. When I used to code in HTML back before they had a lot of web page builders that were intended for ease of use, you had to actually know what the hex codes were for your favorite colors, and yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. Let me up some green and make it a little bit of a different color. There you go. There it is. All right. But yeah, there's how you change your what it looks like, your appearances. I was hoping assign material would like change the look of the material, but it doesn't seem to be that advanced. Like I can say that I want my part to be made out of metal. Oops, cancel. That's in here. Let's put it as an A2 stainless steel. So now it's an A2 stainless steel. It's got a density associated with that material. So if you were doing any material analysis, like the mass here, mass properties, it can tell me of this guy, my volume and surface area, what the mass is. That thing would be almost 9 pounds if it's made of stainless steel, and it's a 4" by 4" by 2" cube, or block, almost completely. So there's some information. It tells you where the center of mass is. That's all sorts of physics stuff. It's so interesting. But y'all, this is going above and beyond. Feel free to play around with this, especially if it's something where you don't have to turn it into me. Like, if you don't have to turn it in, you can always create a new version. I've got over here some version history. I saved this version before I started messing around with the appearances, so if I needed to go back, I could view what it used to look like that. And that way, like, if I wanted to save and make some more changes, normally, like, I could go ahead and I can undo everything I've done. Oh no, I can't, because I just went to version 1 and back again. But if you exit out of it and you go back to your document a second time, I can't undo anything I've done. But now I can look at my version and say, oh, that's what it used to look like. So, yeah, I'm rambling. I'm having way too much fun with hexadecimal and other coding stuff. So, y'all have a great one. Take care, and I'll talk to y'all soon.